All right, hey, how's it going? You know, when The Lost and Found came out by Chase Bliss, I instantly thought to myself, how does it stack up with the MOOD Mkii? More particularly, like how do the reverbs and the delays stack up together? So let's give it a shot. I'll let you know how things go. I've got my MOOD Mkii and set up the way I typically do, most of which won't really come into a play on this one, but just so you know, smooth, no dub, and latch are all on, as well as miso and spread. That's the important one. On the Lost and Found, just miso and spread there. You know, this is Paul's favorite part of what the rat's nest of cables, and this is no different, but this is a routing joy. I am using a, let's see, Montreal Assembly 2 positive as a splitter. It's a stereo overdrive. So I'm using it as a splitter into this TRS to TS jacks coming out and then into my Saturn Works. Well, it's not a splitter, it's the opposite. It's a combiner, right? I guess it's both, a splitter and a combiner. So in this instance, this allows us to be able to hear the stereo effects of each of these, depending on like what channel I have this on. And that way, because of both of these devices have a different sound in miso versus not, miso meaning mono in, stereo out, I wanted everybody to make sure we're getting the same effect. So in this instance, when this LED light is red, it is the Lost and Found, because that's red. When it is blue, it is the MOOD. That's not blue, but you get the idea. All right, so just so you know that everything's good to go, let's start with just the clean tone. All right. Hey, you know what? Let's just mess with the reverbs to start. And realistically, the controls here on the MOOD are going to be that we're going to use for both everything we're going to be doing, because reverb and delay are both in the same channel, but it's going to be time, modify, and we might mess with the clock a little bit. Whereas Lost and Found, there is time and modify for both channels, and the delay is on a separate channel. So for fun, you literally could go delay and reverb. Okay, whereas with the MOOD, you can't. You got to choose one or the other. So anyway, kind of getting ahead of myself. You get the idea. All right, so on Lost and Found, we have time, we have modify on both channels. We're going to leave the glue and blend alone. There are EQs, which we'll leave alone as secondary functions, and there are alts here as secondary functions. And I think we're going to leave that alone too. Really, it's just to kind of give you a good idea of what sorts of sounds are hidden in between both from delay and reverb standpoint, and asking yourself, is it the same? Is it different? That sort of thing. So, okay. All right, let's check it out. Let's start with the MOOD, the classic MOOD Mkii. Let's start with reverb. Let's hear what some of the tones are that we can get out of it. It is interesting to know here that on the MOOD, the modify goes from 0 to 1, like all to 100, you know, or 127 if you're counting MIDI controls. But on the Lost and Found, it is 0, like the noon on modify is the same as 0 on this modify, because this gives you 2 different controls. All right, shut up, Alan. Let's keep on going. I'm going to quick switch to the classic mode on here, which gives us a slightly different sound. Switch over. And there are, of course, so many more vibes you can get out of both of these pedals, but I do think that kind of gives you the intention, so to speak, of what the reverbs can do. So now let's switch over to delay. Oh, on delay, it's going to be a little tricky because I'm going to do the MOOD doesn't have an onboard tap tempo, and I don't have this synced to MIDI clock. So I'm going to be tapping or attempting to tap in the subdivisions and whatnot and the tempo on the lost and found. The way that you can kind of do this is, time is time, which if you're not using, to do tap tempo on the lost and found, you double click both pedals, or yes, pedals like that, and then you can see it switches, blinks. So you hit the left to do the time and hit the right to get out of it. So in this instance, it tells you kind of what the tempo is here with the subdivision. Now, if you want to change the subdivision, you hold down the right foot switch while dialing the time in, and that's how you do that. Now, if we want to do the alternative there, we can do that. You just kind of adjust that by pressing both and then changing the alt. That's kind of what you'll see on that. So, okay, let's see what we got. Let's start with the MOOD, and let's hear the sounds we're getting, and let's check this out. Oh, and you know what? I had that on classic, so let's go to the normal MOOD Mkii sound. That mode 4B is kind of like more of a granular type thing. So we'll just go back to A and keep messing around with that one. I like it. Sorry, I forgot it was in tap tempo mode. So there you have it, somewhat of a comparison. I think if you're like me, you will feel like they can both kind of start in similar territories and go in completely different directions. Does one need both? Probably. All right, until next time, peace.